Let's dive in and take a closer look at what's happening along the African coast, where the story of many Atlantic hurricanes begins. It's Friday, October 3rd, 2025, and a new tropical wave is rolling off Africa's coast. This is a critical moment in the Atlantic hurricane season, as these waves often mark the start of powerful storms that can travel thousands of miles. This area is known as the Main Development Region, stretching from the west coast of Africa to the Caribbean. It's a vast stretch of ocean where warm waters and favorable winds create the perfect breeding ground for hurricanes. Many of the most memorable and destructive storms in history have started right here. The wave we're watching is already showing early signs of organization. If it continues to gather strength, it could soon become our next named storm, Jerry. Meteorologists are keeping a close eye on its progress, as these early stages are crucial for predicting its future path and intensity. A tropical wave is basically a ripple in the atmosphere, moving west from Africa, carrying moisture and spin. These waves are the seeds from which tropical storms and hurricanes can grow, given the right conditions. As the wave crosses the warm Atlantic, it can organize into clusters of thunderstorms. If the environment remains favorable, meaning warm water, moist air, and low wind shear, it can intensify further. First into a tropical depression, then a tropical storm, and potentially a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center currently gives this wave a 30% chance of development in the next week, but that number could rise quickly if conditions improve. Forecasters are using advanced computer models and real-time satellite data to track every change. Sea surface temperatures are running above average, and the environment is becoming more favorable for development. Warm water acts as fuel for these systems, helping them grow stronger as they move westward. With a long journey ahead, this system has plenty of time to strengthen before reaching the Caribbean. The next several days will be critical as we watch for signs of further development. Key ingredients for intensification include low wind shear, which allows storms to build vertically without being torn apart by strong upper-level winds, abundant moisture in the atmosphere, and an initial spin, all of which are possible along its projected path. Our job is to monitor it closely with satellites, computer models, and every piece of data we can gather. Early detection and accurate forecasting are essential to keeping communities safe. We're watching to see if Jerry forms and where it might go. Each update brings new information, and the situation can change quickly. Stay tuned as we track every development, keeping you informed as this system makes its journey across the Atlantic. You might wonder, October, isn't hurricane season winding down? Usually yes, but this wave is different. Formation in the Main Development Region is rare this late. By now, storms usually form closer to the US or Caribbean. Yet, this wave is defying the odds. Ocean temperatures are still above average, and wind shear is low. It's a reminder that hurricane season runs until November 30th for a reason. Long-track storms from Africa in October are unusual and can be intense. Past October, hurricanes like Wilma and Michael prove late-season storms can be just as dangerous. This wave is a signal not to let our guard down. The threat isn't over until the season ends. We must keep watching the entire Atlantic. Forecasting a storm's future relies on computer models, especially the European model, ECMWF. Earlier, the model showed a worst case, a Category 5 hurricane hitting Jamaica and the Gulf. Now it predicts a hurricane near Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, then a sharp turn north, what we call a fish storm. This turn is caused by a jet stream trough steering the system away from land. But small atmospheric changes can mean huge differences in track. That's why we never trust a single model run. We look for trends. The current trend is a northward turn, but the earlier threat reminds us of the storm's potential. The fact that a Category 5 was even possible means conditions are ripe for a powerful storm. We're encouraged by the latest runs, but we stay vigilant. Every model update matters. We'll keep tracking for any shift back toward land. The American GFS model now agrees with the European model. A hurricane is likely to form near Puerto Rico, before making a sharp turn northward into the open Atlantic. This alignment between two of the world's most trusted forecasting models is significant, And it's the kind of consensus meteorologists look for when trying to predict a storm's path. If this scenario plays out, it would be the best-case outcome for the Caribbean islands, sparing them from a direct hit. However, Bermuda could still find itself in the storm's sights, so residents there should remain vigilant and prepared for possible impacts. When both major models are in agreement, our confidence in the forecast naturally grows. It's a rare moment of clarity in the often chaotic world of tropical weather prediction. But here's where things get interesting: a twist in the forecast. Newer, AI-driven models, such as the Euro AI, are painting a different picture. They suggest a weaker system that tracks further south, possibly reaching the Bahamas as a less organized storm, rather than curving out to sea. This curveball hints that atmospheric conditions might not be as perfect for rapid intensification as the traditional models suggest. The storm could struggle to organize, leading to a less severe impact. The difference between traditional and AI models highlights just how much uncertainty remains. Each model uses different data and methods, so their predictions can diverge, especially when the storm is still far from land. The GFS and Euro see a strong storm turning out to sea, while the AI model envisions a weaker system heading west toward the Bahamas. These diverging paths show how much can still change. This kind of spread in the models is completely normal when a storm is still days away from forming or making landfall. The atmosphere is full of variables, and small changes now can mean big differences later. It's a reminder not to lock in on any one forecast just yet. Flexibility and caution are key as new data comes in, and models update. The key takeaway: development is likely, but both the track and intensity of this system are still very much up in the air. Uncertainty is part of the process at this stage. We'll keep watching all the data, comparing every update, and bringing you the latest. Stay alert for changes, as the situation can evolve quickly. The story isn't written yet. As the days go by, the picture will become clearer, but for now, we watch, we wait, and we prepare. To handle uncertainty, we use ensemble models. Dozens of runs, with slight tweaks to the data. For this wave, ensembles from the European and GFS models show a strong signal for development. Most members predict a tropical storm or hurricane. Jerry is likely coming. The biggest question is track and intensity. Spaghetti plots show many tracks toward the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Some models turn the storm north early, others later. Timing is everything. The densest cluster is near Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, meaning they're most at risk. The takeaway development is highly likely, and the Eastern Caribbean should be on alert. Watch for shifts in the cluster over the next few days. We'll keep you updated. While the Atlantic wave grabs headlines, we can't ignore other areas. October often brings storm threats closer to home: the Gulf, Caribbean, and Southeast US. Right now, a stalled front and deep tropical moisture are setting up heavy rain for Florida, 4 to 8 inches possible. Flash flooding is a real risk, even without a named storm. This setup can quickly spin up a tropical or subtropical system close to land. The Caribbean Sea is also warm and could see rapid storm development if wind shear relaxes. Remember Hurricane Wilma's explosive growth in October 2005. The broader pattern is becoming more favorable for development later this month. From Texas to the Carolinas and across the Caribbean, everyone needs to stay alert. The season isn't over yet. What's fueling this late-season activity? The Madden-Julian Oscillation, or MJO, a global pulse that boosts storm formation. The enhanced phase of the MJO is moving into our region, making the atmosphere more favorable for storms through mid-October. This pulse, combined with warm waters, could trigger a final burst of activity before the season ends. The Western Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico are especially at risk. The MJO essentially reopens the window for storm formation, even as the African wave season closes. The next 2 to 3 weeks could be very active. We'll be watching for any disturbance that tries to form. Global patterns matter. Stay aware. Beyond the tropics, the US is seeing classic fall contrasts. In the west, a jet stream dip brings cooler air, severe storms, and even snow to the Rockies. Winter storm watches are up, with several inches of snow expected in high elevations. Meanwhile, the central U.S. feels more like summer, temperatures in the 80s and 90s. The Northeast enjoys crisp, sunny fall weather. Florida, though, faces heavy rain and flash flood risks from deep tropical moisture. The Southeast, including Savannah, could see 5 to 6 inches of rain this week. It's a reminder. Tropical moisture can cause big impacts, even without a named storm. Stay weather aware wherever you are. The season's contrasts are in full swing. What does all this mean for you? As we move deeper into hurricane season, it's more important than ever to pay attention to the latest forecasts and updates. The weather can change quickly, and being caught off guard can put you and your loved ones at risk. We're entering a critical period. Stay informed and prepared. Make sure your emergency supplies are up to date, and talk with your family about what to do if a storm approaches. Preparation now can make all the difference later. The main story right now is the Atlantic wave that could become Jerry. Meteorologists are watching it closely as it moves across the ocean, and it has the potential to strengthen in the coming days. Most models show it turning out to sea, but that's not guaranteed. Forecasts can shift, and it's wise to keep an eye on any changes in the projected path. If you're in the Lesser Antilles, Virgin Islands, or Puerto Rico, monitor this system closely. Even a small change in direction could bring impacts to your area, so stay alert and be ready to act if needed. Now's the time to review your hurricane plan and emergency kit. Double-check that you have enough water, food, and essential supplies to last several days, just in case. Even if Jerry stays away, the MJO pulse means the Gulf and Caribbean are at higher risk for new storms. This pattern can spark rapid development, so don't let your guard down. Late-season storms can form quickly. Have a plan before one threatens. Talk with your family about where you'll go and what you'll do if an evacuation is ordered. Know your evacuation zone and where you'd go. Familiarize yourself with local routes and shelters now so you're not scrambling at the last minute. Florida and the Southeast, prepare for heavy rain and possible flooding. Clear drains, secure outdoor items, and be ready for changing conditions. Rockies, get ready for winter weather. Snow and ice can arrive suddenly, so make sure your vehicle and home are winterized. Central U.S., enjoy the warmth, but stay alert. Weather can shift fast, and it's always smart to keep an eye on the sky. The bottom line, stay connected, check for updates, and have a way to get alerts. Sign up for local notifications, and make sure your phone is charged. Hurricane season isn't over. Stay prepared, stay informed, and we'll get through it together. With the right steps, you can protect what matters most, and face the season with confidence.